2 weeks ago, I heavily tested Godox V100 at one of the most epic parties for photographers during the Way Up North conference, Wooden Banana Party with over 500 photographers. I have some thoughts regarding this flash, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion, and also I want to share with you my one tip for how to make epic party photos work every single time. So stay tuned until the end of the video to see that. First of all, I have not used a lot of Godox flashes in the past. I have the retro flash on my Sony RX1R Mark II, and that's basically it. For years, I have been mainly using pro photo gear for my wedding photography work, so I had kind of zero desire to downgrade to Godox, but the new V100 is more powerful. It has a touchscreen, so it's nice, and very robust housing, so I was very excited to be able to test it out. Quick disclosure, I did receive this unit from Godox for the testing purposes, and I guess I do get to keep it. They didn't ask to send it back, but they do not get to see this video before I post it or do not get any input. So in the box, you get the flash unit, you get the battery, a small direct flash attachment, a nice pouch, and some cables. The pouch is actually really solid. Personally, I just toss my flashes naked into the backpack, but for those of you who like to keep things tidy in cases, this one is great. It has a belt attachment and has a little pocket for this direct flash unit. It's really well thought out. Now, the first thing I noticed when unboxing the flash, it's big, which makes sense. It's a powerful flash. It does feel slightly larger than my pro photo units and definitely bulkier than any of my compact flashes that I used in the past, like this Sony 45 type of flash. But again, that's expected. This one is very, very powerful. In terms of build quality, it's honestly better than I anticipated. My experience with older Godox flashes was always a bit of plastic fantastic, as I like to say. This one still is plasticky, but definitely a step up from the previous models. The version I'm testing is for Sony. So the hot shoe has the pins, and it comes with this little protective cover that I personally highly recommend keeping on when you're not using the flash. Pins on Sony flashes, no matter the brand, have tendency to bend, and you have to be really careful. I've had both Sony and Profoto pins wrecked in the past, so again, keep this on and be careful. I do love the fact that the hot shoe is metal. It feels solid, it slides into camera really smoothly, and there's no issues here. And I know that this was a drama in the past in the older models with the hot shoe being too plastic and would just fall off because of how heavy the flash is. But it looks like they solved it here with the upgraded mount. Just so you know, I have few more things I really like about the V100 to cover, but it's not all perfect. So I'll talk about some downsides too. Don't worry, it's not going to be all nice. Or worry, I guess. Maybe you should worry if you're planning to buy this. So first, things that I love. The battery. It's awesome. It pops out easily by pressing the button on the side and sliding the battery out. The battery is huge. It charges via USB-C, which is great. And get this. At the party, I shot around 700 photos at roughly half power, and I didn't even lose a single bar on the battery indicator, which is wild. So from what I've tested, what I've seen, the performance of the battery is spectacular. Next thing I really like is the head. It's really tight, and when you tilt it, it holds its position really, really well. It's unlikely to move accidentally, which is important. It's got the round head, like some of the previous models, and since I have the European version, it does include a magnetic ring. So some of the US versions of this flash, they do not have that ring due to the patent issue with Profoto. Personally, I love the magnetic mount. It makes it super easy to use with modifiers and accessories. It's very, very practical. So like better to have the version with it than without it. Now let's look at the photos before I get into the things that I didn't love. And if you want to go through the full gallery of the photos at your own pace, I've got it linked below, hosted with the sponsor of this segment of the video, which is PicTime. PicTime is the online gallery system I use to deliver photos to my clients. And honestly, it's the best one out there. Not just for delivery, but for everything it offers beyond that. First, it has a built-in print store that connects with over 30 professional labs from all around the world. And to actually help you sell prints, which, let's be honest, most of us suck at, PicTime offers something called sales automation. These are done for you marketing campaigns with email templates, banners inside the gallery, and even limited time offers. So all set up for you, but you can change it however you want. And in my opinion, this one is total game changer. On top of that, there's a slideshow creator, a blog post builder, and two of my recent favorite features, which are AI face recognition in the gallery for your guests so they can easily find themselves in the photos, and then video integration so you can drop short video clips right in between the photos, which looks super modern and really fun to browse through. If you never tried PicTime, I highly recommend checking it out. You can sign up for free for your first month and then get an extra month free with my code MAGIC, or just use the link below. And as you can see, the photos from the party, they all look great. The light coming from the flash is super solid, no overheating, no misfires. Like the V100 fired every single time I hit the shutter. So performance-wise, nothing but good things to say. But now, onto the stuff I did not love. And it really comes down to the ease of use and the handling. So V100 has a completely new interface, a large touchscreen, one scroll wheel, and 3 buttons. And when I first tested it at home, I really liked it. The screen is huge, which I love, is bright and super responsive. I actually preferred using the touchscreen to adjust the power and the settings over the buttons, especially because at least on my unit, the scroll wheel is really stiff. You have to press your finger into it just right to make adjustments. So the screen definitely wins in terms of usability. But here is when the things got tricky for me. At the party, and it was a packed venue, over 500 people, my camera was constantly on my shoulder, and every time I picked it up, the flash would bump against my hip or someone else's hip, and the result, my flash settings kept changing by accident, like constantly. There is a way to lock the screen, which I found during that party, which helped a lot, but the problem is that unlocking the lock screen is super easy. You just hold the screen for 2 seconds, which again kept happening as the flash rubbed against other people or my own body. I really think this could be solved with a firmware update, maybe adding an extra step to unlock it, like holding a button or tapping the screen. But yeah, that was my biggest issue with this flash. And now, to be fair, this kind of chaotic party is not like the typical usual shooting environment for most of wedding photographers for most of the wedding day. So I don't expect it to be an issue at most weddings. But if you shoot a dual harness setup like I do, or like, you know, your gear tends to dangle around your hips and bump around, just keep in mind that that touchscreen might get triggered by accident. So you have to lock it first and, you know, be kind of mindful about it. In general, in my opinion, this is hands down the best Godox flash out there, the best I've seen. And the touchscreen, while problematic at times, I'd still rate it higher than the old way of using the interface with a bunch of buttons and holding and clicking. It's quite big, but if you need the power, there's no way around that. And for the price of like $350, I feel like this flash is a great value packed with features. Okay, now I promise you one tip: how to make your party photos work. The photos you see were shot using dragging the shutter technique, which I called flash in the face. First of all, dragging the shutter means low ISO, slow shutter, and high f-stop. But in order to make it work for you at like chaotic parties like these, and like I kid you not, when you look through the photos, like through like the entire set of photos, every single photo is sharp. So what's the secret? The first secret is you need a wider angle lens. I shoot 24 mil, and I do recommend anything between 16 and 24 millimeters. And then the most important thing is to set your camera to manual focus. You cannot rely on autofocus at a party like this because you're going to be constantly waiting. The camera, no matter which camera it is, A9 III, if it's like chaotic like this, it's still going to, take a moment to catch the focus, and you don't want to be missing moments. So you want to be able to see the moment with your eyes. So let's say beer spilling or people kissing or like doing something, you see that and you just want to click the shutter, press the shutter and shoot. And you achieve that only with manual focus. And trust me, with the correct setup, your photos will always be in focus. So the way you need to set it up is to set your manual focus to a certain distance. I set my focus to a distance of 1 meter, and with a wide lens, like let's say 20 millimeters and f13, the depth of field is going to be big enough for you to capture everything you see freely. So manual focus set to certain distance, high f-stop and wide angle lens is like everything is in focus basically. So if you ever struggle with this technique and shooting sharp photos, this is the way to go. If you want to learn more tips and tricks on how to use flash for wedding photography, make sure to check out my free flash masterclass on how to take awesome group photos at night, and make sure to watch this video about it.